Right now, somewhere, a teenage girl is quietly slipping a tampon into her bag before class. No one notices. No one blinks. It's routine. But for almost all of human history, that same moment carried a different weight entirely. The real answer to how ancient women handled it is far stranger and far more revealing about your own body than you'd expect. Start with a fact that sounds impossible. Your ancestors, on average, menstruated far less often than you do. Not because their bodies were different, because their lives were. Think about it for a second. What has to happen for a period to occur at all? Your uterine lining builds up, then sheds, month after month, because no pregnancy began. That cycle is the default state of a body that isn't pregnant and isn't breastfeeding. Now picture a woman 10,000 years ago. She likely began having children earlier. She had more of them. And after each birth, she breastfed intensively, often for 2 to 4 years, which naturally suppresses ovulation. Pregnancy and breastfeeding, back to back, for most of her adult life. The anthropologist Beverly Strassmann studied this directly, living among the Dogon people of Mali and tracking their reproductive lives in detail. Her research suggested that women in that population experienced roughly 100 menstrual cycles across a lifetime. Compare that to the average woman today, who may experience close to 400. 4 times as many periods. Not because bodies evolved, because circumstances did. So when a girl in an ancient community did menstruate, especially for the first time, it wasn't a monthly inconvenience. It was rare. It was visible. And that visibility mattered. Here's the reframe. In a world without written calendars, blood that appeared without a wound, that came and went on its own, unconnected to injury or illness, would have looked like something extraordinary, something with power. Across many ancient and traditional cultures, that power got coded 2 ways at once: dangerous and sacred. Sometimes both in the same breath. That's where the practical side comes in. What did she actually use? Historical and archaeological records point to whatever the environment offered. Moss, soft plant fibers, folded strips of animal hide, cloth once weaving existed. In ancient Egypt, medical texts like the Ebers Papyrus reference material used for feminine hygiene, though scholars still debate the exact translation and use. In ancient Greece, later writers describe wrapped lint or soft wood used in a similar way, though the specifics are pieced together from fragments, not certainty. The tools were local, biodegradable, and completely ordinary to the women using them, even if they look alien to you now. But the deeper story isn't about the materials, it's about the meaning wrapped around them. In many small-scale societies, first menstruation triggered a formal transition. Not a quiet, private event, but a marked one. Separation for a period of days, instruction from older women, sometimes seclusion in a dedicated space set apart from daily life. This is where the idea of the moon hut or menstrual hut comes from, a practice documented by anthropologists in multiple cultures across different continents, independently arrived at again and again. Here's the twist that tends to surprise people. These practices weren't only about restriction. In many communities, they doubled as protection and status. A girl who bled was a girl who could carry the next generation. That fact alone reshaped how she was seen, sometimes overnight. The rules around her weren't just fear of blood. They were an entire community reorganizing itself around fertility, survival, and continuity. Because in a world with high infant mortality and constant physical risk, a body capable of new life was the most valuable resource a group had. Compare that to now. You might associate your period with discomfort, inconvenience, something to manage quietly and move past. Your ancestors, for the most part, barely experienced it at all. And when they did, entire social structures responded to it. The event didn't shrink. Your relationship to it did. Which raises the real question worth sitting with. The version of this experience, monthly, private, medicated into the background, isn't the ancient default. It's the modern one. Shaped by nutrition, fewer pregnancies, different lifestyles, and centuries of cultural distance from a moment your ancestors once built ceremonies around. So the next time it happens, and you reach for something manufactured, disposable, barely worth a second thought, remember what that same moment used to mean. Somewhere back along your bloodline, it wasn't routine at all. It was the world taking notice.